Hi, this is Eric, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, right down there is a subscribe button. Click that, subscribe with us. We would love to have you along for the journey.
Hi, I'm Eric, and you know what? I had a really just great experience here last week. That ended up what I do for work. I do a lot of traveling, and I get a chance to meet a lot of people. And I'm extremely active on social media when it comes to any kind of suicide awareness, sobriety, mental illness, just because it's affected my life in so many ways. I mean, I'm a recovering addict. I've lost a wife and a father to suicide. And I'm very big on hearing other people's stories because one of the success that I always found, like with AA and a lot of the other programs out there, is the more that we share, the more that we know we're not alone. And not being alone, it doesn't fix it, but it definitely does a lot for our brain to let us know we're not the only ones on this journey. And I've had so many different people reach out to me. I've done different podcasts and now starting to do different videos with other people. And I had the chance here this last week to actually meet with two individuals that are in the adult entertainment industry. And it's Edin and Avery Moon. And Avery, I originally had actually reached out to, not realizing that she was a porn star, just because I had saw a post on Sobriety and that she was saying, hey, I've hit this month, and it's like, hey, way to go, congrats. It's a huge accomplishment. I mean, every day with sobriety is a big accomplishment because it is one day at a time. And throughout that, her and I just kind of started talking. And if you follow me on Twitter, I will always reach out. And I'm a true believer in always reaching out and touching base with your strongest friends. And I do keep in contact with everybody who's ever reached out to me. And yeah, it's a big list. I probably keep in contact with about 150, 200 people a month right now at least, just to make sure they're doing okay. And we had chatted, and she had agreed to actually meet with me when I had come to Arizona again. And I ended up coming to Arizona just due to work. And you know what? She made the time out of her day, her and Edin did, to come down and talk with me about their sobriety. Both are recovering heroin addicts. And it was one of those things that the adult industry has so much stigma around it. I'm a very anti-stigma person because stigma helps create the bullying, helps create the judgment, and I'm so against all that. And I really truly believe in people helping people. And this was towards just the end of us sitting and talking. And she went into just the sobriety, doing porn sober, and what it was all about, and what she really wants to do, and how she wants to help others here later on down the road. And you know what? I was shocked. These two are badasses, and all the support and all the props to them in the world, because they really, the hearts in these two, and the passion in them of maintaining their sobriety, and also making sure that one, their bond together was unreal. I mean, it was one of those things that I realized that I'm lacking actually a little bit in my sobriety. And quite frankly, I was a little bit jealous. I'm like, dude, these two are just really tight, and you know what, they're making it happen every day. And I just give them all the credit in the world, because they're really awesome, very real people. And there's so much stigma even that goes around, like porn and adult industry. And let's face it, pretty much everybody has seen porn. Everybody knows what it is. And these people are sometimes frowned upon and looked down upon as a lesser of a person. And you know what? I would have these two back any day of the week, because they really had this realness, and just them sharing just the emotions and what they've been through in the life that they've led. And you know what? It's a journey. Everybody's life is a journey, and it's so different for each one of us. And you know what? Props to both of these for making it happen. It was just a really good and exciting experience. And next time I'm out there, hopefully I get to meet with them again, because now I have a whole list of questions and everything I want to know. And because their insight is so much different than like the insight that I get, because a lot of the people that I've helped with sobriety are in sales and different aspects of their life. And this is one aspect in life that it does reach out to a lot of people, because let's face it, a lot of people do watch porn and know what porn is. But it's also one of those things that the more that we hear different angles and different sides of everything, the more that we can understand and begin to make sure that we can help anyone that we run into out there. So I hope you get as much out of this as I did. This is actually just towards the very end of when we were actually talking together, and it was just a very real moment with Avery when she started sharing doing porn and doing it sober, and what she wants to accomplish later on in life, and what she wants to do. And I give her all the credit in the world. I support this 100%. And I hope you get something out of this, and I hope some of the words that they say, and some of the messages, you get something out of it, because it's kind of like panning for gold, and all we hope to do is find that nugget. And when we find that nugget, it's like, oh my goodness, here it is, and then we run with all that excitement, and that's what it was like for me. So I'm going to be having a couple different podcasts and a couple different videos coming up that I've done with these two. But this was actually at the very end when I got to talk with them both, and you know what? I hope you really get something out of this like I did. All right, so tell me about doing porn sober. I mean, so you've always done this, and you got back into it, and you got into it sober, and the anxiety and.
So originally, I'll just go out and say it. I know this sounds bad, but I had a bunch of probation fees that I had to pay off. So I was in a fucking pickle, and I would go to my probation officer and be like, I don't have a way to come up with $2,000 to pay you, like, or I'm gonna fail fucking. I was getting state drug tested and everything. They were about to kick me off and like take away my plea because I didn't have money. So I was like, fuck all of this. Like, I'm taking control back. I will go to California, like, give me a work pass, and I'll go to California and I'll come back with your money. And that's what I did. And then I was terrified as fuck. I knew I had to come back to Arizona and give a clean drug test. So, like, that was another thing that kept me accountable. But I came there, did porn, didn't fucking die. I was so nervous, but, like, afterwards I was like, wow, like, that was fucking, like, I had that good feeling, like, it was a rewarding feeling.
Right.
And I was able to drive back to Arizona sober, pay my probation, give a clean drug test, and, like, continue to do that for a few months until I got off probation. And then I really thought about it, like, porn is, like, a way to express, like, a lot of shit. And I do a lot of rough porn, and that's kind of therapeutic to me. Like, I don't know how to explain why.
I was just thinking about this when I was peeing.
Yeah,
about
like,
how there's, like, we've both chosen paths where there's an opportunity to heal some old trauma.
and so, like,
Sorry.
No, it's really true. Like, I totally agree with you guys on that.
it's just,
It
like,
does make
facing it.
sense. Mm-hmm.
Instead of being a fucking victim or, like, poor me, like, I'm just gonna go in there. And, like, in porn, it's controlled environment. And if I do rough porn, like, I can say stop.
Right.
Or, like, there was a porn that I did where the dude's, like, getting super rough with me and, like, smacks me in the face, and I, like, instinctively smacked him back, and they kept it in the porn. And, like, it felt fucking good, and, like, I like doing it now. Like, it's so freeing, and I get to express myself. I get to call this girl and, like, tell her about, like, the fun, weird shit that I'm, like, doing and growing and, like, learning about. And, like, I can do, like, content trades, which is awesome, where you, like, make your own porn and there's no director, and I can sell my own videos. Like, I have all this freedom now.
You have control over it. It's yours, whatever you want to make of it, and whatever you want to do with it. And
it's cool because there's this guy and I that are, like, teaming up, and we're, like, trying to, like, start this, like, foundation kind of for the kids down here in Arizona for, like, child protective services, and we have, like, $10,000 raised for it, and, like, we're starting, like, an organization, like, nonprofit. We don't know what we're naming it yet. We thought of, like, Over the Moon, but that's kind of weird because, like, that's tied into my porn name.
Right.
So, like, we're still thinking about it, but we have, like, funds that we're raising, like, half of, like, shit that he's donated and, like, stuff that I've earned. Like, we're not asking random people for donations yet or anything like that, but, like, we have a plan and a target, and, like, I really fucking want to help the kids down here. Arizona's Child Protective Services, like, sucks dick. I'm just gonna say it. Like, they suck. They, like, pile all these kids in to a house. Like, they don't care about, like, they don't have extracurricular activities. Like, these kids live in a group home. Some of them, like, one of my exes was in CPS, and, like, he, like, was out of school for, like, 6 months.
Oh, wow.
That's illegal as hell. And, like, they didn't do anything about it. He was in, like, 6th grade when that happened. And I really want to help those kids because, like, the majority of them that end up in CPS, like, the parents are addicts. And, like, it's just a sick cycle, man. Like, if you're, like, a lot of the time, like, if your parents are addicts, like, you don't grow up in a good environment. You learn by seeing the shit around you, or, like, you get separated from your family and put in CPS, like, where you don't really have a lot of resources. And, like, I want to, like, really help those kids and, like, start where, like, the root of it is, and just, like, help fucking, like, if they need fucking counseling or, like, anything, like, I'm trying to do something like that. And that's my whole fucking goal around this. I love doing porn. I'm going to continue to do porn for as long as I can. I'm going to continue to make my own fucking content. And I'm going to continue to fucking start this, like, nonprofit, like, organization for the kids here.
That is awesome.
The little kids. I love them.
And I give you props on that.
And it's for a good cause. Like, you're broadcasting this, reaching people. Like, a lot of people that do have mental illness, like, for example, me, like, when I was trying to get off heroin, I went online.